The night sky lit up with purple and blue streaks as Ilara's small ship fell toward Earth. Smoke poured from the damaged engine as she tried to control the fall. Her violet skin shone with sweat. Her six-fingered hands moved quickly over the glowing controls. The natural light from her body flickered as she grew more afraid. The Kavari Empire had found her at last. After 3 jumps through space and a desperate dive through an unstable hole in space, her enemies had still managed to damage her ship beyond repair. As the ground came closer, Ilara thought she would die, or worse, be caught and sent back to the breeding farms. Instead, her ship crashed into a thick forest. The crash threw her against her seat straps. Dazed and bleeding silver fluid from a cut on her head, Ilara crawled from the broken ship just before it burst into bright blue flames. The cold night air hurt her lungs like needles. Earth's air was barely good enough for her to breathe. Through blurry eyes, she saw shapes coming closer, humans in soldier clothes. Fear took hold of her. The Kavari had spread lies about humans being cruel hunters who cut open alien visitors. As the soldiers came closer, Ilara tried to run, but fell down. The last thing she remembered was being lifted by kind hands and a soft voice saying, "It's okay. You're safe now." Ilara woke up in a small room. The walls were made of some kind of cloth. She was lying on a flat bed. Her wounds had been cleaned and covered. A human female sat nearby, watching her closely. "Hello," the human said. "My name is Olivia. Olivia Reeves, can you understand me?" Ilara nodded slowly. Her people had been listening to Earth signals for many years. She knew several human languages, including English. "Where am I?" Ilara asked, her voice musical and strange to human ears. "You're in a medical tent at our base in Montana," Olivia said. "Your ship crashed 3 days ago. We've been taking care of you." Ilara tried to sit up but felt pain shoot through her body. "I must leave. It's not safe for me to be here. Not safe for you either." Olivia gently pushed her back down. "You're hurt. You need to rest." "You don't understand," Ilara said, her voice urgent. "The ones who shot down my ship, the Kavari, they will come looking for me. They will harm anyone who helps me." Olivia looked troubled. "Why are they after you?" Ilara was quiet for a moment, thinking about how much to tell this human. "My people, the Luminar, we were once many. We lived on 3 worlds in a far star system. The Kavari came 20 years ago. They wanted our worlds, our resources, but most of all, they wanted us." "What do you mean?" Olivia asked. "My people have special gifts. We can heal quickly. We rarely get sick. Our blood can be used to cure many diseases. The Kavari are dying from a sickness that has no cure. They think our blood might save them." Ilara's light patterns flickered sadly. "They took most of my people to breeding farms. They use us like animals. Take our blood. Force us to have babies that they also use for blood." Olivia looked shocked and angry. "That's horrible. Some of us escaped, formed a resistance. I was sent to find help, allies against the Kavari, but they followed me here." Ilara grabbed Olivia's hand. "Please. I must leave before they track my ship. Your people are not ready to face them. Their weapons are far beyond yours." Olivia seemed torn. She looked at the tent entrance, then back at Ilara. "My commanding officers are coming tomorrow. They want to ask you questions. The government is very interested in you." Fear flashed across Ilara's face. "Will they keep me here against my will?" Olivia didn't answer right away, which told Ilara everything she needed to know. "Please," Ilara begged, "help me leave. I must warn the others that Earth is not safe either. The Kavari will add your world to their hunting grounds if they find it suitable." That night, while the base was quiet, Olivia made her choice. She came to Ilara's tent with a bundle of clothes. "Put these on. They'll help you blend in if anyone sees us." Ilara changed into the human clothes, which felt strange against her skin. Olivia had also brought a hat and gloves to hide Ilara's most alien features. "I know where parts of your ship landed," Olivia whispered. "I can take you there." They slipped out of the tent and past the guards. Olivia knew the patrol schedule and guided them through blind spots in the base security. Once past the fence, they entered the forest. "It's about 4 miles to where we found the biggest piece of your ship," Olivia said. "Can you walk that far?" Alara nodded. "My people are stronger than we look." As they walked through the dark forest, Olivia asked more questions about Ilara's world and people. Ilara explained how the Luminar had once been a peaceful race of scientists and artists, how the Kavari's arrival had changed everything. "Why Earth?" Olivia asked. "Why did you come here?" "Your world is known to us," Ilara said. "We have watched your broadcasts for many years. Your people are young but show promise. Some among my resistance thought you might be ready to join the wider galaxy. I was sent to make first contact to warn you about the Kavari and ask for your help. But I see now that was a mistake. Your weapons could not stop them." Dawn was breaking when they reached the crash site. The main part of Alara's ship was gone, taken by the military, Olivia explained, but smaller pieces were scattered through the forest. Alara walked among them, picking up parts that still worked. "I can build a small transmitter," she said. "Send a message to the resistance. Tell them to stay away from Earth for now." Olivia helped her gather the pieces. As Ilara worked to build her device, Olivia kept watch. In the growing light, she could see how truly alien and beautiful Ilara was. Her violet skin had patterns that shifted with her emotions. Her eyes were large and deep with no whites, just pools of shimmering purple. "Your people will come for you?" Olivia asked. "If they can," Ilara said. "But it may take time. The resistance has few ships." When the transmitter was complete, Ilara activated it. A soft hum filled the air, and the device glowed with the same blue light as Ilara's skin patterns. "It is done," she said. "Now I must hide until they come." Olivia looked back toward the base. "They'll be looking for both of us soon." Ilara reached into a pocket of her damaged flight suit and pulled out a small crystal. It glowed with a soft inner light. She pressed it into Olivia's hand. "Take this," Ilara said. "If you ever need to find me, it will lead you to me. It is bonded to my life force." "I can't go back to the base," Olivia said suddenly. "They'll know. I helped you. I'll be arrested, maybe worse." Ilara looked at her with surprise. "You would leave your people for me?" "I took an oath to protect the innocent," Olivia said. "That includes you. And I want to learn more about what's out there, about your people." Ilara smiled for the first time since they met. "Then come. I know a place where we can hide, and I can teach you about the stars." Together they walked deeper into the forest as the sun rose over the mountains, two beings from different worlds united by circumstance and growing trust. Neither knew what challenges lay ahead, but for now, they had each other. 8 years passed since the night Ilara crashed on Earth. 8 years since Olivia Reeves made the choice to help her escape. Their paths had gone in different directions after 6 months of hiding together. Ilara had made contact with her people. A small ship came for her one night, landing in the remote valley where she and Olivia had made their home. The time had come for Ilara to rejoin the resistance. "Come with me," Ilara had asked, her violet hand reaching out to Olivia. But Olivia could not leave Earth behind, not yet. "I need to clear my name," she had said. "And I can help more from inside the military. I can be your eyes and ears here." They had parted with heavy hearts, each keeping the crystal that would connect them. Ilara promised to return when it was safe. Olivia promised to watch the stars. Now, Olivia stood on the bridge of the ISS Armstrong, Earth's first true starship. After returning to face military justice, she had been surprised to find herself treated as a valuable asset rather than a traitor. Her experience with an actual alien had made her too important to lock away. "The alien trusted you," General Weber had said during her hearing. "That means you can be a bridge between our species, but don't ever go behind our backs again." Over the years, Olivia had worked her way up the ranks, from consultant to trainer to officer. When the Armstrong project began, she was the natural, choice to lead it. The ship was meant to be a symbol of Earth's readiness to join the galactic community. "Captain Reeves," called a voice from behind her. "The delegate ship is approaching Docking Bay 3. Olivia turned to see her communications officer, Lily Patel. "Thank you, Lily. Tell the welcome team to assemble." Today was a historic day. The first official meeting between human representatives and the Galactic Concord, a group of allied species who had recently reached out to Earth. Olivia had her doubts about this Concord. In 8 years, Ilara had never mentioned such a group. Olivia touched the small lump under her uniform where Ilara's crystal hung on a chain around her neck. It had been cold and dark for years. She had tried many times to activate it, to send a message to Ilara, but had never succeeded. Either Ilara was too far away or something had happened to her. The Armstrong shuddered slightly as the alien ship docked. Olivia straightened her uniform and made her way to the reception area. A group of officers stood at attention, including Security Chief Heather Simmons, a no-nonsense woman who had never quite trusted Olivia's story about Ilara. The tour began with the engine room. The Genta asked detailed questions about the Armstrong's faster-than-light drive. Their knowledge of physics suggested they were far more advanced than they had led Earth to believe. "And your quantum communication array?" Speaker Gorn asked. "We have heard it is quite advanced." "It's still experimental," Olivia said carefully, "but we can show you the basics." As they walked through the ship, Olivia tried to think of a way to get Ilara alone. The opportunity came when one of the hooded figures stumbled slightly, falling behind the group. "Are you all right?" Olivia asked, dropping back. The hood shifted, and Ilara's eyes met hers briefly. "Engineering section," she whispered. "Access. Tunnel B, 20 minutes." Olivia gave a slight nod and rejoined the group. The tour continued to the bridge. The Genta seemed particularly interested in Earth's defense systems and the Armstrong's weapons. Their questions grew more pointed, more specific. "How quickly could Earth mobilize a planetary defense?" Speaker Gorn asked casually. "That information is classified," Heather cut in before Olivia could answer. Speaker Gorn turned his 4 eyes to Heather. "Of course, forgive my curiosity." After showing the Genta the communications center, Olivia checked her watch. "If you'll excuse me for a moment, I need to check on a system issue. Please continue the tour with Chief Simmons." Before anyone could object, Olivia left the group and headed for engineering. She felt Speaker Gorn's eyes following her, but she didn't look back. Access Tunnel B was a narrow maintenance corridor that ran between the main engineering section and the backup power systems. Olivia had to crawl to get through it. Inside, hidden in the shadows, Ilara waited. "We don't have much time," Ilara whispered as Olivia approached. "The Genta are more suspicious than I thought. They've been scanning your ship's system since we arrived." "What are they looking for?" Olivia asked. "Weaknesses. Ways to disable the Armstrong without destroying it. They want this ship intact." Ilara pulled something from beneath her robe. It looked like a small metal disc. "This is a Kavari data core. It contains everything I've learned about their plans for Earth." Olivia took the disc. "How do I access it?" "You can't, not with your technology, but you don't need to." Ilara touched the disc and it glowed with the same blue light as the crystal. "I've linked it to our connection. The crystal will translate the data." Suddenly, a loud alarm blared. Throughout the ship, red emergency lights began to flash. "What's happening?" Ilara asked, fear in her eyes. Olivia's comm device buzzed. She answered it quickly. "Reeves here." "Captain, the Genta ship just powered up its weapons." Heather's voice was tense. "They're targeting our engines." "Get to the bridge," Olivia ordered. "I'm on my way." She turned to Ilara. "You need to hide. If the Genta realize you've helped us, it's too late for that," Ilara said grimly. "They must have detected the data transfer. The bands." She held up her wrists. The metal bands were glowing red. "They're going to—" Ilara screamed in pain as the bands sent electrical currents through her body. She fell to her knees. "Ilara." Olivia tried to help her, but Ilara pushed her away. "Go, warn your people," Ilara gasped through the pain. "I'll try to disable their ship from inside." I'm not leaving you again, Olivia said firmly. You must, Ilara said. Earth needs you more than I do. The ship shuddered as something hit it. The lights flickered. Engineering to bridge, a voice called over the comm. We've been hit. Port engine is failing. Olivia made her decision. She removed the crystal from around her neck and pressed it into Ilara's hand. Take this. It will help you fight the bands. Ilara looked at the crystal, in surprise. But without this, you won't be able to access the data. I'll find another way. Olivia stood up. Meet me at the quantum array in 1 hour. If I'm not there, I'll find you, Ilara promised. Olivia crawled back through the access tunnel and ran to the bridge. Chaos greeted her. Warning lights flashed on every console. Through the main viewport, she could see the Genta ship, its weapons glowing as it prepared to fire again. Report, Olivia commanded as she took her captain's chair. They hit our port engine and communications array, Lily Patel said from her station. We've lost contact with Earth. Where are the Genta delegates? Olivia asked. They returned to their ship just before the attack, Heather reported. All except one. We're missing one of the hooded figures. Shields at 60%, called the tactical officer. They're targeting our starboard engine now. Evasive maneuvers, Olivia ordered. Power up weapons. Captain, Heather said quietly, coming to stand beside Olivia's chair. Was your alien friend right? Olivia nodded grimly. The Kavari fleet is coming, Heather. We need to warn Earth. Standard communications are down, Lily reminded them. Then we use the quantum array, Olivia said. It's our only option. The array is in the section that was hit, Heather pointed out. It might be damaged. We have to try. Olivia stood up. Heather, you have the bridge. Keep them busy. I'm going to the array. Heather grabbed Olivia's arm. Not alone, you're not. I need you here, Olivia insisted. With all due respect, Captain, you need me watching your back. Heather nodded to her second in command. Peters, you have the bridge. Maintain evasive maneuvers and keep that ship from hitting us again. Together, Olivia and Heather made their way through the damaged ship. Emergency bulkheads had sealed off sections where hull breaches had occurred. They had to take a roundabout route to reach the quantum communication section. So this alien, Heather said as they crawled through another maintenance tunnel. Ilara, you really trust her? With my life, Olivia said without hesitation. She saved me years ago, in more ways than one. Yet she's working with the enemy. Not by choice. Olivia paused to help Heather over a fallen beam. The Kavari destroyed. Her people, Heather. They're monsters. And they want to do the same to us? Worse. They want to use us. Harvest us for some kind of cure. Olivia shuddered at the thought. They reached the quantum array control room to find it dark and damaged. Sparks flew from broken panels. The main array display was cracked. Can you fix it? Heather asked. Olivia examined the controls. Maybe. The core system seems intact. She began working on the damaged circuits. I need about 10 minutes. We might not have 10 minutes, Heather said, checking her weapon. If the Genta realize what we're doing, a noise from the corridor outside made them both freeze. Heather raised her weapon and aimed it at the door. The door slid open to reveal Ilara, her hood gone, her violet skin glowing brightly in the dim light. The bands on her wrists were broken, hanging loosely. Ilara, Olivia said in relief. Heather didn't lower her weapon. Is that her? Ilara stepped into the room, her eyes on Heather's gun. Yes. I am Ilara of the Luminar, and you must be Heather Simmons. How did you break the control bands? Olivia asked. Ilara held up the crystal. It pulsed with energy. Your gift was more powerful than you knew. The crystal contains elements from my homeworld. It disrupted the Kavari technology. Convenient, Heather said, still suspicious. We don't have time for this, Olivia said. Ilara, can you help me with the array? We need to send a warning to Earth. Ilara moved to the controls. Her 6 fingers danced over the broken circuits. with surprising skill. The main quantum core is undamaged, but the targeting system is offline. Meaning? Heather asked. We can send a message, but we can't direct it precisely, Ilara explained. It will reach Earth, but it might not go to the right people. Better than nothing, Olivia decided. What do we tell them? Everything, Ilara said. The Kavari fleet, their plans for Earth, their weaknesses. They have weaknesses? Heather asked, finally lowering her weapon. All species do, Ilara said, her eyes sad. The Kavari are dying from a plague that affects their reproductive system. They're desperate for a cure. That desperation makes them dangerous, but it also makes them vulnerable. As Ilara and Olivia worked to repair the array, Heather kept watch at the door. The ship shuddered again as another blast hit it. Hurry, Heather urged. Almost there, Olivia said. The display flickered to life. We've got it. Ilara connected the data core to the array. This contains everything Earth needs to know. Technical specifications of Kavari ships, their weapons, their biology, and a message from us, Olivia added, recording a quick explanation of the situation. Just as they were about to send the transmission, the door exploded inward. Speaker Gorn stood in the smoking doorway, flanked by two Genta soldiers. Their stone-like skin was now covered in metallic armor. Step away from the array, Speaker Gorn commanded, raising a weapon unlike anything Olivia had seen before. Heather fired her gun, but the bullets bounced off the Genta's armor. One of the soldiers fired back, hitting Heather in the shoulder. She fell to the ground with a cry of pain. Heather. Olivia moved to help her, but Speaker Gorn's weapon swiveled to point at her. The next one dies, he said coldly. Ilara stepped in front of Olivia. You won't hurt them, Gorn. Not while I'm alive. As they traveled, Ilara continued to recover. The crystal's light had healed her worst injuries, though she was still weak. She explained more about her people, about the crystal, and about the Kavari. The plague that affects them is of their own making, she told them. They experimented with biological weapons centuries ago. One escaped their control and has been slowly killing them ever since. And they blame others for their mistake, Heather said. They believe they are superior to all other species, Ilara said. They cannot accept that their downfall is their own doing. How many ships do they have? Olivia asked. At least 20 in this invasion fleet, Ilara said grimly, each carrying thousands of soldiers and harvesting equipment. Harvesting equipment? Heather repeated. For humans? Ilara nodded. They will take what they need and leave your world barren. Not if we can help it, Olivia said firmly. They traveled in silence for a while, each lost in their own thoughts. Olivia checked on Heather's wounds, using the pod's medical kit to clean and bandage them properly. The soldier was tough, but she had lost a lot of blood. Thank you, Heather said as Olivia finished, for trusting me with this. You saved our lives back there, Olivia replied. I think we're past trust issues. Heather smiled slightly. I always thought your story about the alien was a cover for something else. Maybe desertion, maybe something worse. And now? Now I wish I'd believed you sooner. Heather looked at Ilara. We could have been better prepared. The pod's radar beeped, showing another ship approaching. This one was smaller than the Kavari vessel, moving fast and erratically. Is it one of theirs? Heather asked, tensing. Ilara studied the readings. No, the energy signature is different. Her eyes widened. It's Luminar, my people. I thought you said the resistance was destroyed, Olivia said. Most of it was, but some must have escaped. Ilara touched the crystal. They can sense this. It's calling to them. The approaching ship slowed as it neared their pod. It was sleek and silver, with blue lights pulsing along its hull, similar to the patterns on Ilara's skin. They're hailing us, Olivia said, as the Mayo communication system activated. A voice came through the speakers, speaking in a musical language that neither human could understand. Ilara responded rapidly, her voice filled with emotion. What are they saying? Heather asked. They're survivors from my home world, Ilara translated. They've been hiding in your solar system for months, watching the Kavari. They detected the crystal's activation and came to investigate. The Luminar ship moved closer and extended a docking tube to the escape pod. With a soft hiss, the tube connected to their airlock. They're offering to take us aboard, Ilara said. Their ship is faster than this pod. We can reach the relay station in hours instead of days. Can we trust them? Heather asked, still cautious. Ilara smiled for the first time since they'd reunited. They are my family, Heather Simmons, the last of my kind. Yes, you can trust them. They gathered their few belongings and moved to the airlock. When it opened, two Luminar stood waiting. They were similar to Ilara in appearance, violet skin, six-fingered hands, bioluminescent patterns, but taller and dressed in silver uniforms. They embraced Ilara with joyful cries, their skin patterns flashing in what Olivia guessed was their version of tears. Then they turned to the humans, bowing slightly. Welcome, one of them said in heavily accented English. Friends of Ilara are friends of all Luminar. Aboard the Luminar ship, Olivia and Heather were amazed by the advanced technology. The ship seemed partly grown rather than built, with organic curves and surfaces that responded to touch. Lights pulsed through the walls like blood through veins. The Luminar crew, only 8 in total, treated Heather's wounds with technology that healed her almost instantly. They provided food and clean clothes, treating the humans with a respect that touched Olivia deeply. In the ship's command center, Ilara introduced them to the captain, an older Luminar named Varen. His skin patterns were faded with age, but his eyes were sharp and kind. Ilara tells us you carry knowledge that may save your world, Varen said. Olivia nodded and handed him the data core. Everything we know about the Kavari invasion force. Varen examined the device and then passed it to another Luminar. Teral will analyze this. He is our best tactician. The crystal is the key, Ilara said, showing Varen the glowing object. It contains the cure data, but also something more. Something I only discovered when Olivia gave it back to me. What is it? Olivia asked. A weapon, Ilara said softly. Or rather, a defense. The crystal can generate a field that neutralizes Kavari technology. Not just their control bands, but their ships, their weapons, everything. How? Heather asked. It's so small. Size matters little with our technology, Varen explained. The crystal contains living energy that can be amplified. With the right equipment, its effect could protect your entire planet. The relay station, Olivia realized. If we can modify it to broadcast the crystal's energy. Exactly, Ilara said with a smile. My people have been working on this for years, ever since we lost our homeworld. We never had enough crystals to protect a planet before, but one is all we need, if used correctly. As the Luminar ship sped toward the moon, they formulated their plan. The relay station was an unmanned facility, easy to access with Olivia's command codes. The Luminar would modify it to broadcast the crystal's protective field, while simultaneously sending the tactical data to Earth defense forces. Will Earth forces trust information from an alien ship? Varen asked. They'll trust it from me, Olivia said. I'm still captain of the Armstrong even if the ship is gone. And I'll back her up, Heather added. Between the two of us, we should be able to convince them. Terrell returned with the analyzed data. The Kavari fleet is massive, but the data is accurate. Their weaknesses are real. He pointed to a holographic display showing the fleet's formation. If your people target these points, they can disable the ships without destroying them. Without destroying them? Heather questioned. They're trying to harvest us. Shouldn't we hit them with everything we've got? Violence begets violence, Varen said sadly. We tried to fight the Kavari. We lost our world. The cure is the true solution, Ilara added. If we can show them they don't need to harvest other species, that they can be saved without destruction. You still believe they'll listen? Olivia asked gently. After what they did to your people? Ilara touched the scars on her face. I have every reason to hate them, Olivia. But hate will not save either of our worlds. Compassion might. Olivia looked at Heather, who shrugged. It's worth a try, the security chief admitted. If it fails, we can still fight. The ship's sensors chimed, indicating they were approaching. The moon. The relay station came into view, a simple metal structure bristling with antennas and satellite dishes. We're being hailed, one of the Luminar crew announced. Earth Defense Forces have detected us. Put them through, Olivia said. Straightening her uniform as best she could, a stern human face appeared on the screen. Unknown vessel, this is General Richards of Earth Defense Command. Identify yourself immediately. General, this is Captain Olivia Reeves of the ISS Armstrong, Olivia responded. Security Chief Heather Simmons is with me. We have critical information about an imminent invasion force. The Armstrong has been destroyed and we are aboard a friendly alien vessel. There was a pause as the general processed this. Captain Reeves, we received a fragmented transmission from the Armstrong 12 hours ago. Something about an attack? Yes, sir. The Gentad delegation was a scouting party for an alien empire called the Kavari. They're planning to harvest humans for genetic material. Their fleet is already in our solar system. We've detected multiple large objects entering the system, the general confirmed. Our forces are on high alert. Sir, we have tactical data on the Kavari fleet and a potential defense system. Request permission to dock at the lunar relay station to upload this information. Another pause. Permission granted, Captain. But, be advised, any hostile action will be met with force. Understood, sir. We come in peace. As they approached the relay station, Olivia turned to Ilara. This is it. Our chance to save both our peoples. Ilara nodded, the crystal glowing brightly in her hand. Together, Olivia. As it was always meant to be. The lunar relay station was cold and sterile, its metal walls humming with the machinery that kept Earth connected to its growing network of space outposts. Olivia led the way, followed by Heather, Ilara, and Varen. The rest of the Luminar crew remained on their ship, ready to provide support if needed. The main control room is this way, Olivia said, pointing down a corridor. Her breath fogged in the station's chilly air. They passed through several security checkpoints, each requiring Olivia's handprint and voice confirmation. The automated systems weren't designed to deal with alien visitors, but they didn't trigger any alarms at the sight of Ilara and Varen. Your security is basic, Varen observed politely. That can be arranged, traitor, Speaker Gorn said. The Kavari were wrong to think you could be controlled. Yes, Ilara agreed, her body beginning to glow brighter. They were. With a swift movement, Ilara slammed the crystal into the quantum array. A blinding flash of blue light filled the room. When it faded, the array was humming with power. Transmission complete, the computer announced. Speaker Gorn roared in anger and fired his weapon. Ilara pushed Olivia aside, taking the blast directly. In her chest, she fell backward, her violet skin turning pale. Ilara. Olivia caught her as she fell. No! Speaker Gorn and his soldiers advanced into the room. Your warning is too late, human. The Kavari fleet is already in your solar system. Earth will fall, just as the Luminar homeworld fell. Heather, despite her wound, managed to reach her fallen weapon. She fired again, this time aiming at the ceiling above the Genta. The weakened structure collapsed, burying Speaker Gorn and one of his soldiers under debris. The second soldier was thrown back into the corridor. We need to move, Heather gasped, clutching her bleeding shoulder. More will come. Olivia looked, down at Ilara in her arms. The alien's eyes were dim, her light patterns barely visible. Ilara, stay with me. The crystal, Ilara whispered. Take it back. It will guide you. Olivia pulled the crystal from the array. It was pulsing with a strange rhythm now, almost like a heartbeat. I won't leave you. You must, Ilara said, her voice growing weaker. Find the resistance. They're still out there, hiding. The crystal knows the way. The ship rocked violently. Emergency alerts blared through the speakers. Hull breach on decks. 5 through 8, the computer announced. Life support failing in sections 12 through 15. Captain, Heather said urgently, we need to evacuate. Olivia looked at Ilara, then at Heather, torn between duty and loyalty. Go, Ilara said. Save your people, Olivia. That's what you've always done best. With tears in her eyes, Olivia lifted Ilara, and with Heather's help, they made their way toward the evacuation pods. The battle for Earth's future had just begun, and the weight of it rested on their shoulders. The Armstrong shook as another blast hit the hull. Warning lights flashed all around them as Olivia carried Ilara through the damaged corridors. Heather limped alongside them, her shoulder bleeding through her makeshift bandage. Escape pods are on the next level, Heather said, pointing to a ladder. We need to hurry. Olivia looked down at Ilara in her arms. The alien's breathing was shallow, her normally bright skin now pale and dim. The wound in her chest leaked silver fluid. Stay with me, Ilara, Olivia pleaded. We're almost there. Ilara's eyes fluttered open. The crystal, she whispered. Keep it safe. The crystal hung around Olivia's neck again, pulsing with blue light that seemed to match Ilara's fading heartbeat. They reached the ladder, but Olivia couldn't climb while carrying Ilara. Before she could figure out what to do, footsteps echoed from the corridor behind them. The remaining Genta soldier had found them. Go, Heather shouted, pushing Olivia toward the ladder. I'll hold them off. Heather, no. That's an order, Captain, Heather said, raising her weapon. Earth needs that data. Get to a pod and warn them. Olivia wanted to argue, but there was no time. She gently placed Ilara over her shoulder and began to climb, each movement sending pain through her friend's injured body. Behind them, gunfire erupted as Heather engaged the Genta soldier. Olivia climbed faster, reaching the escape pod level. She ran down the corridor, counting the pod numbers until she reached pod 7. The pod door slid open automatically. Olivia carefully placed Ilara on one of the seats and strapped her in. Then she moved to the controls and began the launch sequence. Come on, Heather, she muttered, watching the corridor through the pod's small window. Just as the final launch sequence began, Heather appeared, stumbling down the corridor. Blood covered half her face, but she was alive. She fell into the pod, just as the door began to close. Go, she gasped. They're right behind me. Olivia hit the launch button. The pod shuddered and then shot away from the Armstrong. Through the viewport, they watched as the once proud ship drifted, its engines dark, weapons silent. What about the crew? Olivia asked, suddenly remembering her responsibility. Peters ordered evacuation as soon as the life support started failing, Heather said, wincing as she adjusted her position. Most of them should have made it to the pods. Olivia programmed the pod's navigation system to take them to Earth. It would be a slow journey without the Armstrong's faster-than-light drive. But they would make it. How is she? Heather asked, nodding toward Ilara. Olivia checked the alien's pulse. It was weak, but steady. Alive, but barely. We need to get her medical help. What kind of doctor treats aliens? Heather asked. I know someone, Olivia said, thinking of Dr. Catherine Walsh, who had helped her care for Ilara 8 years ago. As the pod drifted through space, Olivia turned her attention to the data core. She connected it to the pod's simple computer system and watched as streams of information appeared on the screen. This is incredible, she said as she scrolled through the files. Detailed schematics of Kavari ships, weapon systems, biological data. Will it help us fight them? Heather asked. Maybe, Olivia said, but there's something else here. She opened another file and gasped. Ilara found a cure. A cure? For what? For the Kavari plague, the reason they're after humans in the first place. Olivia read through the data. According to this, Ilara's people developed a treatment years ago before the Kavari invaded their world. They tried to share it, but the Kavari wanted to control it. So they invaded instead of negotiating, Heather said bitterly. The cure requires a specific enzyme found in Luminar blood, Olivia continued. But Ilara discovered that humans produce a similar enzyme. We could synthesize it without harming anyone. If we could offer them a cure, Heather began. It might stop the invasion, Olivia finished. A soft moan from Ilara drew their attention. The alien's eyes opened slightly. Ilara, Olivia said, moving to her side. We found the cure data. We can use it to negotiate with the cavalry. No, Ilara whispered. Cannot trust. Cavalry. They take. Never give. But if we could end this without a war, they killed my people, after promise of peace. Ilara's breathing was labored. Crystal. Real cure. Olivia touched the crystal hanging around her neck. What do you mean? Before Ilara could answer, the pod's alarm system blared. A ship was approaching, a Kavari vessel, much larger than the Gentah scout ship. They've found us, Heather said, looking at the radar display. Engaging cloaking device, Olivia said, activating one of the pod's few defensive systems. Will that work against their sensors? Heather asked. It's based on technology from Ilara's ship, Olivia explained. It might buy us some time. The massive Kavari ship passed overhead, its dark hull blotting out the stars. It was heading toward Earth. We're too late, Heather said. They're already here. No, Olivia said firmly. We sent the warning. Earth will be ready. Earth has never faced anything like this, Heather pointed out. Our weapons are primitive compared to theirs. We have something they don't, Olivia said, looking at Ilara. We have her knowledge, and we have the crystal. As if responding to its name, the crystal pulsed brighter. Olivia removed it from around her neck and held it up. Inside the clear crystal, something moved, patterns of light that seemed alive. What is it? Heather asked. I'm not sure, Olivia admitted. Ilara gave it to me years ago. She said it would connect us, lead me to her if I needed to find her. It's more than that, Ilara said, her voice stronger than before. She reached for the crystal and Olivia placed it in her six-fingered hand. It contains the memories of my people, our science, our history. The crystal glowed brighter as Ilara held it, the light spreading to her injured body. Where the light touched, her wounds began to heal. It's helping you, Olivia said in amazement. The crystal is alive, Ilara explained as color returned to her skin. It's the last of our living technology. We created it to preserve our knowledge if we were destroyed. As they watched, the crystal's light spread throughout the pod, interfacing with the computer systems. Data flowed across the screens faster than they could read it. What's happening? Heather asked, backing away. It's analyzing the Kavari ship, Ilara said, sitting up straighter as her strength returned. Finding weaknesses. The crystal projected a holographic image of the Kavari vessel. Certain sections were highlighted in red. Engine cores, Ilara pointed. Shield generators, command centers, all vulnerable if you know where to strike. This could turn the tide, Olivia said, hope rising in her voice. There's more, Ilara said. She touched the crystal again and the hologram changed to show a small device. This is a resonance emitter. It can disrupt Kavari technology. Your people can build it with materials you already have. We need to get this information to Earth. Defense forces, Olivia said. She checked the pod's communication system. Our transmitter isn't powerful enough to reach Earth from here. There's a communication relay station in orbit around your moon, Ilara said. If we can reach it, we can send the data. Olivia reprogrammed their course. The pod's engines strained as they changed direction, heading for the moon instead of Earth. It would take longer, but it was their best chance. Remember the protocols, Olivia said to her team. No sudden movements. Follow their lead on greetings. Let the translators do their job. The airlock door slid open with a hiss. 3 tall figures stepped through. They were nothing like Ilara. These beings stood almost 7 feet tall with gray skin that looked rough like stone. Each had 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern on their faces. They wore simple robes of a shiny material. Welcome aboard the Armstrong, Olivia said, bowing slightly. I am Captain Olivia Reeves. The tallest of the aliens stepped forward. We are the Gentah, it said in perfect English, surprising everyone. I am Speaker Gorn. We bring greetings from the Galactic Concord. Behind the 3 leaders came a group of smaller figures in hooded robes. assistants or servants. Olivia guessed. One of them at the back of the group moved in a way that caught Olivia's attention. Something familiar in the gait, the way the hands were held close to the body. "We are honored by your visit," Olivia continued, pulling her eyes away from the hooded figure. "We have prepared quarters for your delegation and hope to begin formal talks tomorrow after you have rested." "That is acceptable," Speaker Gorn said. "We have traveled far and would appreciate time to adjust to your ship's environment." The delegation was shown to their quarters in the diplomatic section of the Armstrong. Olivia returned to the bridge, but found herself unable to focus. Something about the hooded figures bothered her, something she couldn't quite place. That night, as Olivia reviewed the security footage from the delegation's arrival, she paused on an image of the hooded figures. One of them had turned slightly, and a glimpse of violet skin was visible beneath. The hood. Olivia's heart raced. Could it be, after all these years? A soft chime at her door interrupted her thoughts. She closed the security feed and called, "Enter." The door slid open to reveal an empty hallway. Olivia frowned and stepped toward the door. Suddenly, a figure slipped inside, seeming to appear from nowhere. The door closed behind it. The figure reached up and pulled back its hood. Violet skin, with faintly glowing patterns. Large, deep purple eyes. It was Alara, but changed. Thin scars crossed her face. The once bright patterns on her skin were now dim and sluggish. Her eyes held a wariness that hadn't been there before. "Hello, Olivia," Alara said softly. Olivia wanted to rush forward, to embrace her old friend, but something held her back. "Alara, what are you doing with the Genta?" Alara glanced nervously at the door. "We don't have much time. They'll notice I'm gone soon." "What's going on?" Olivia asked. "Are you in trouble?" Alara's laugh was bitter. "You could say that. The resistance fell, Olivia. The Kavari found our base 3 years ago. Most of my people were killed or captured. And you? I was taken to a Kavari research facility. They were interested in my connection to humans." Alara touched her scarred face. "Very interested." Olivia felt sick. "I'm so sorry. I should have. There was nothing you could have done." Alara cut her off. "But now you can help. You and your people are in danger." "From the Genta? They seem peaceful." Alara shook her head. "The Genta are not what they claim to be. They are not representatives of any galactic conquered. They are scouts for the Kavari Empire." Olivia sat down heavily in her chair. "Why are they here? What do they want?" "The same thing the Kavari always want: resources, subjects for their experiments. Your Earth has something they need desperately." Ilara's voice dropped to a whisper. "A cure." "A cure for what?" "The Kavari plague has gotten worse. Their entire species is dying. Their scientists believe that human biology might hold the key to their survival." Olivia remembered what Alara had told her years ago about the Kavari using her people for their blood. "They want to do to us what they did to your people." Alara nodded. "But on a much larger scale. Earth has billions of humans. The Kavari see you as the perfect resource. How do you know all this? Why are you with them?" "After they captured me, they discovered I had been to Earth, that I knew humans. They persuaded me to help them." Alara held up her hands. Strange metal bands circled her wrists. "These ensure my cooperation. If I try to run or warn you openly, they will kill me instantly." "Then why risk coming here now?" "Because I found a way around their controls. The bands monitor my words, my actions, but they can't read my thoughts, and they don't know about our connection." Alara pointed to the crystal hanging around Olivia's neck. Olivia touched the crystal. "It's been dark for years. I had to shut down our connection to hide it from them. But now..." Alara reached out and touched the crystal. It flared to life, glowing with a bright blue light. "Now I need you to trust me one more time." "What are the Genta planning?" Olivia asked. "They're assessing your defenses, your technology. They'll report back to the Kavari fleet, which is already on its way." Ilara's eyes were intense. You have maybe 3 days before they arrive. 3 days. That's not enough time to prepare Earth's defenses, which is why we need to stop the Genta from sending their report. Ilara looked around the room. This ship has quantum communication technology, doesn't it? I saw the arrays when we docked. Olivia nodded. Experimental tech. It allows faster-than-light communication, but the range is limited. It's our only chance if we can use it to send a warning to Earth before the Genta realize what we're doing. I'll need to get authorization from Earth Command. Olivia said, reaching for her comm device. Ilara grabbed her hand. No. The Genta are monitoring all standard communications. You can't trust anyone right now except your closest crew. So what do we do? The Genta will be busy examining your ship's technology tomorrow during the tour. That's our window. We need to access the quantum array and send a direct message to your highest military authority. Olivia thought for a moment. Heather Simmons, my security chief. We'll need her help. Can you trust her? With my life, Olivia said, though a small doubt nagged at her. Heather had always been suspicious of Olivia's story about Ilara. Then speak to her, but carefully. Tell her only what she needs to know. Ilara moved toward the door. I must get back before I'm missed. Wait, Olivia said, stepping closer to Ilara. I missed you? For a moment, Ilara's face softened, and she looked like the being Olivia had known years ago. I missed you too. More than you know. She pulled her hood back up. Tomorrow, when the delegation tours the ship, find a way to get me alone. We'll only have one chance to save your world. After Ilara left, Olivia sat in the dark for a long time, the crystal glowing softly against her skin. 8 years of wondering, of waiting, and now Ilara was back, bringing with her a threat to all of humanity. Olivia touched her comm device. Security Chief Simmons, please report to my quarters. We have a situation. Heather Simmons arrived at Olivia's quarters with a concerned look on her face. Her short brown hair was slightly messy, suggesting Olivia had woken her up. What's so urgent, Captain? Heather asked, closing the door behind her. Olivia took a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you stays between us. Earth's safety depends on it. Heather's expression grew serious. She nodded once. The Genta delegation is not what they claim to be, Olivia said. They're scouts for an alien empire called the Kavari, and they're here to assess our defenses before an invasion. That's a serious accusation, Heather said carefully. What evidence do you have? Olivia hesitated. Do you remember my story about the alien I met 8 years ago? The one that crashed in Montana? The violet-skinned one that supposedly gave you a crystal before disappearing into space? Heather's tone was skeptical. The one we never found any proof of except a burn mark in the forest? She's here, Heather, on this ship with the Genta delegation. Heather's eyes widened. One of the hooded figures? Olivia nodded. She came to my quarters tonight. She's being forced to help them. The Kavari captured her people, and now they're after humans. Why should I believe this? Heather asked. It could be a trick. Maybe this alien friend of yours is playing you. I've known Ilara for years, Olivia said. I trust her with my life. You knew her for 6 months 8 years ago, Heather corrected. People change. Aliens probably change too. Olivia pulled the crystal from beneath her uniform. It glowed with a soft blue light. This connects us. It always has. Heather stared at the crystal. I'll need more than a glowing rock, Captain. If what you're saying is true, we're talking about the safety of Earth. Tomorrow, during the ship tour, I'll get Ilara alone. She'll tell us everything she knows about the Kavari's plans. Olivia leaned forward. But I need you to be ready. We may only have one chance to send a warning to Earth. After a long moment, Heather nodded. I'll prepare a security team I trust, but they'll be on standby only until I see proof. Thank you, Olivia said. That's all I ask. The next morning, the Genta delegation assembled in the main conference room. Speaker Gorn and the other 2 leaders sat at the table while the hooded, Figures stood against the wall. Olivia searched for Alara among them but couldn't tell which one she was. "Today we would like to learn more about your ship's capabilities," Speaker Gorn said. "We are particularly interested in your propulsion and communication systems." Olivia forced a smile. "Of course. We've prepared a tour of the key systems. Security Chief Simmons will accompany us." Heather stood by the door, her face neutral but her eyes alert. "We're still new to space," Heather replied. "Until a few years ago, we thought we were alone out here." The main control room was a circular chamber filled with blinking consoles and large screens showing Earth, the Moon, and the surrounding space. On the largest screen, they could see the approaching Kavari fleet, 20 massive ships in tight formation, still beyond Mars, but moving steadily inward. "We have maybe 6 hours before they reach Earth orbit," Olivia estimated. Alara connected the data core to one of the consoles. Information began flowing across the screens. Detailed schematics of Kavari ships, their weapon systems, shield generators, and propulsion technology. "This is incredible," Heather said, scanning the data. "With this, Earth forces might actually stand a chance." "Not without the crystal's protection," Alara reminded her. "Their weapons are still far beyond yours." Varan examined the relay station's systems. "This facility can be modified to broadcast the crystal's energy signature. The signal would cover Earth and its immediate orbital space." "How long will it take?" Olivia asked. "A few hours with your help," Varan replied. They set to work, the humans following Varan's instructions to reconfigure the relay station's transmitters. Alara worked on amplifying the crystal's energy, connecting it to a device she and Varan had brought from their ship. As they worked, a communication came through from Earth Defense Command. General Richards appeared on the main screen, his face grim. "Captain Reeves, our scientists have analyzed the data you sent. If it's accurate, we're facing a threat unlike anything in human history." "It's accurate, General," Olivia confirmed. "But we have a defense. The Luminar, our alien allies, have technology that can neutralize the Kavari weapons." "So I'm told," the general said skeptically. "My science team is having trouble believing that a single crystal can protect an entire planet." "It's not just a crystal." Alara stepped into view. "It's living technology. The last creation of my people before our world fell." The general's eyes widened at the sight of Alara. "You must be the alien Captain Reeves encountered years ago." "Yes. My name is Alara. I've been a prisoner of the Kavari for the past 3 years. I know their plans for Earth. They will harvest your people for genetic material unless we stop them." "How can we trust you?" the general asked bluntly. "For all we know, this could be a trick to disable our defenses. If we wanted to harm you, we could have done so already," Varan said, joining the conversation. "We have the technology. What we lack is numbers. Our people are nearly extinct because we faced the Kavari alone. We don't want the same fate for humanity." The general was silent for a moment, weighing their words. "Continue your work," he finally said. "But be advised that Earth forces are preparing to engage the alien fleet if necessary." "Understood, sir," Olivia replied. "We'll be ready." As the Ostai hours passed, the Kavari fleet drew closer. Earth forces mobilized, sending every available ship and weapon platform to defensive positions. It wouldn't be enough without the crystal's protection, but it was all they had. Alara and Varan worked tirelessly on the crystal interface, speaking in their musical language as their hands moved with precision over the delicate components. Olivia and Heather focused on the relay station's transmitters, following the Luminar's instructions. "Do you think this will work?" Heather asked quietly as they adjusted a power coupling. "It has to," Olivia replied simply. "And if it doesn't?" Olivia looked at her friend. "Then we fight until we can't." Heather nodded, satisfied with the answer. Finally, the modifications were complete. The crystal sat in a specially designed chamber at the heart of the relay station, connected to the transmitters by a web of Luminar technology. It pulsed with blue light that seemed to grow stronger by the minute. "It's ready," Alara announced. "When activated, it will create a field that disrupts Kavari technology. Their weapons, shields, engines, All will fail within Earth's orbit. What about the cure? Olivia asked. You said the crystal contains the cure data. It does, Alara confirmed. But using it as a weapon and as a cure at the same time is complicated. We may have to choose. You said violence isn't the answer, Olivia reminded her. That compassion might save both our peoples. Alara looked troubled. The Kavari took everything from me, Olivia. My home, my family, years of my life. It's hard to feel compassion for them. I know, Olivia said gently. But isn't that what makes it matter? Before Alara could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. On the main screen, they saw one of the Kavari ships break formation and accelerate toward the moon. They've detected us, Varen said grimly. They know what we're trying to do. How long until the defense field is operational? Heather asked. Minutes, Alara replied, her fingers flying over the controls. But they'll reach us before then. The Luminar ship moved to intercept the approaching Kavari vessel, but it was much smaller, no match for the massive warship. We need more time, Alara said urgently. General Richards appeared on the screen again. Captain, we're sending 2 fighters to your position. They won't last long against that ship, but they might buy you some time. Thank you, General, Olivia said. We just need a few more minutes. The Earth fighters streaked past the station, engaging the Kavari ship with missiles and energy weapons. Most bounced harmlessly off the alien shields, but they did succeed in slowing its approach. 60 seconds to activation, Alara announced. The Kavari ship fired on the Earth fighters. One exploded in a ball of flame. The other was badly damaged but continued to fight. 40 seconds. The Luminar ship joined the battle, its more advanced weapons actually penetrating the Kavari shields in places. But the larger ship returned fire, hitting the Luminar vessel with devastating effect. Varen, Alara cried as their ship took heavy damage. They'll be all right, Olivia tried to reassure her. Focus on the crystal. 20 seconds. The Kavari ship fired on the relay station. The whole structure shook, and warning lights flashed on every console. Hull breach in Section 3, an automated voice announced. Emergency bulkheads activated. 10 seconds. Another hit rocked the station. Power flickered, and several consoles went dark. The crystal interface is losing power, Alara shouted. I need to stabilize it manually. Before anyone could stop her, Alara rushed to the crystal chamber and placed her hands directly on the glowing stone. Energy flowed from the crystal into her body, making her violet skin glow with blinding intensity. Alara, no! Olivia tried to pull her away, but an energy field had formed around her and the crystal. 5 seconds, Varen counted down, watching the readings on his device. 4, 3, 2, 1. A pulse of blue energy shot from the relay station, spreading outward in a perfect sphere. When it reached the Kavari ship, the effect was immediate. The massive vessel's lights flickered and died. Its weapons fell silent. It began to drift, powerless. It worked, Heather exclaimed. Their ship is disabled. But Olivia wasn't listening. She was focused on Alara, who still stood in the crystal chamber, energy coursing through her body. Alara, let go now, Olivia pleaded. It's done. You can let go. Alara turned to look at her, her eyes glowing with the same blue light as the crystal. Not yet, she said, her voice echoing strangely. There's more to do. The energy pulse continued to spread, passing the moon and moving toward Earth. As it reached the planet, it enveloped the entire sphere in a shimmering blue field. The main Kavari fleet, now visible near Earth orbit, suffered the same fate. As the advanced ship, their massive vessels going dark and drifting helplessly in space. The defensive field is established, Varen reported. Earth is protected. But Alara is still connected to the crystal, Olivia said, her voice rising in panic. Why isn't she letting go? Varen looked grave. She's not just creating a defensive field, she's implementing the cure protocol. What does that mean? The crystal contains the cure for the Kavari plague, but transmitting it requires a living conduit, a luminar. Varen's voice broke slightly. She's sending the cure data directly to the Kavari ships. Will it hurt her? Heather asked. It will drain her life force, Varen admitted. She may not survive. No. Olivia tried again to reach Ilara, but the energy field pushed her back. Ilara, stop. We can find another way. Ilara smiled sadly at Olivia. There is no other way. This is what the crystal was made for. This is why I survived when so many of my people died. You can't leave me again, Olivia begged, tears streaming down her face. Not like this. I'm not leaving, Ilara said softly. I'll always be part of the crystal, part of the cure, my people's final gift to the galaxy. The energy flowing through Ilara intensified. Her form began to blur, becoming one with the light. The crystal pulsed faster, brighter, until it was almost too brilliant to look at. On the main screen they could see the Kavari ships surrounded by the same blue energy that filled the crystal chamber. The energy penetrated their hulls, spreading throughout the vessels. What's happening to them? Heather asked. The cure is being administered, Varen explained. It will rewrite their genetic code, healing the damage caused by the plague. They will no longer need to harvest other species. At the cost of Ilara's life, Olivia said bitterly.